Ladies and gentlemen, in order to be successful for today's instruction, you need to have a whiteboard. You need to have your notebook ready to go. Tomorrow you have a test, 25 questions, all multiple choice. Oh, Maggie is going to collect your map, and Brian is going to collect your primary. So please pass those over. I'll take them. Thank you. Okay, so everyone needs to make sure that tomorrow you are ready to go with your focus and your pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Maggie is collecting your map, and Brian is collecting your primary. Let's go. Jared, what do you need, Dora?
I was going to ask you this question.
Got it. Do not hand them individuals. Wait till you have a bunch in your hand. Okay. On your whiteboard, here we go. On your whiteboard, please tell me who is the Prophet of Islam. Let's go. On your whiteboard, please tell me who is the Prophet of Islam. Good. Who is it? Emily. Muhammad. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the name of the holy book of Islam. Give me both spellings, please. Good. What do we got, Evelyn? How do you spell them? Q-U-R-A-N or K-O-R-A-N? On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the nickname of the Quran? What is the nickname of the Quran? Well, that's not good. Good. What is it, Reagan? The direct word of God. Who can raise their hand and tell me why it's called the direct word of God? Emma.
Because it's like a direct translation from Muhammad to...
Who can clean that up a little bit? Sterling.
Because all of the gods spoke to Muhammad and it was written down. It wasn't like years after.
Who can clean that up? Jared.
Allah was telling Muhammad and Muhammad was saying Al-Andalus.
There we go. Muhammad had to dictate straight to his scribe. Why is the Bible not referred to as the direct word of God? Why, Sophia?
Because it was after
Many years.
a lot of
Like 20, 25 years later, it was all written down. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the holiest city of Islam? Good. What is it? Katie. Mecca. What is the name of the holiest site in Mecca? Good. What is it, Maggie? The Kaaba. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the political and religious leader of Islam? Good. Evan. The Caliph. Some of you are getting rocked on this. This isn't good. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when you study the life of Muhammad? The life of Muhammad is called what? Good. What is it, Lily? Hadith. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when Muhammad started his own village in Medina? What is it called when he started his own society in Medina? What is it, Ashlyn? Ummah. On your whiteboard, what are laws based on Islam called? Ooh, you're getting straight up rocked, like embarrassingly rocked. What is it, Brian? Sharia. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when Muhammad commanded, when Allah commanded Muhammad to wage a war? Good. Sterling. Jihad. On your whiteboard, please tell me, Muhammad was told by Allah to take back what major city? To fight and take what major city? Good. Claire. Mecca. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the year Allah spoke to Muhammad for the first time? Good. What is it? Shannon. 610. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what year does Muhammad die? You did it yesterday on your primary source. Slav.
632nd.
632. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to know that. If you don't have it down in your notes, you need to have it down in your notes. Because we have Akbar notes. I should have made that more explicit yesterday. You need to know that Muhammad dies in 632. That is your second major date you need to know. So if you highlighted it, underlined it, whatever the first time, make sure you know that Muhammad dies in 632. Who can raise their hand and tell me where we left off yesterday? With a hand. Reagan.
We just finished the Muhammad dynasty, and you told them that you just told us that they could go.
Okay, perfect. So all of a sudden we have Akbar, who is now the Caliph. Muhammad dies in 632. We have Akbar. As soon as Akbar comes into power, we have a fraction in Islam, and we have the Shiites and the Sunni. With the Shiites, we're going to see that they are going to want to have a descendant, while the Sunni want to have the most qualified. The first major Islamic dynasty are the Umayyads. The Umayyads are going to be Arab-based. They are going to be incredibly racist. They think Arab Muslims are the best Muslims, and they are going to give them preferential treatment. Is that a great way to start building a country? No, it's not, and that's going to lead to lots and lots of problems. So, you need to know that they are going to implement a jizya, and this is a huge term. It's going to keep coming up. They're going to implement a jizya, or a tax, on non-Muslims. A jizya is a tax on non-Muslims. So if you are a Christian and you wanted to practice your faith, they don't care that you're Christian. You just have to pay a tax. Okay? That's what a jizya is. So, they are not, and you better put this underneath it or next to it, they are not force converting. They do not force convert. They just put a jizya, or a tax, on non-Muslims. Okay? Now, you also need to know that the Umayyads are going to live luxuriously, which is going to morally bankrupt their society. So the Umayyads are going to live luxuriously, and they're going to have a pretty fabulous lifestyle, and that is going to cost a lot of money, and that is going to bankrupt them. So, Umayyad are going to fall, and the Abbasid rise. Now, the Abbasid, I'd skip a space center in Abbasid, they are going to rise, and they are going to be pro-diversity. So, the Abbasid Dynasty is pro-diversity. So, all the people who are being subjugated in the Umayyad, are they going to like these people better? Yes, they are. So, all the people under the Umayyad, you need to know it's not like the Umayyad decline and the Abbasid rise. It's the Abbasid that conquers the Umayyad. So, write that down. The Abbasid conquer the Umayyad. Now, how they do it is pretty damn cool. It's very Red Wedding style if you're a Game of Thrones fan, okay? What happens is they invite all the Umayyad leadership to a big fancy banquet in their honor to say how impressed we are with thank you, and then they lock the doors and slit their throats. So, the Red Wedding is based on the Umayyads. That's how they wiped out the Umayyads. That's literally how it goes. So, Umayyads fall, Abbasid obviously are going to rise. You need to know that we already talked about they're super pro-diversity. You need to know they are not imperial based, which means they're not trying to conquer lots and lots of land. That is the opposite of the Umayyad. The Abbasid are not really trying to conquer tons and tons of territory. Okay? They are completely happy with the land they get from the Abbasid. From the Umayyad, sorry. You need to know of Dar al-Islam. This is a very important term. Dar al-Islam is the center of education for the entire world. The Abbasid are going to start Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam is the center of education for the whole wide world. This is where all math, science, inventions are occurring. The smartest people in the world are all at the Dar al-Islam. It's like a massive university, okay? But it's not just students who are there. It is the smartest people in the world working together, okay? So, the Dar al-Islam is the center of the academic world. It is going to be moved around from city to city just because cities will rise and cities will fall. Okay? So, you need to know that they are going to use Persian bureaucracy to run their government. Their major capital is Baghdad. You need to know that. So the original Dar al-Islam is in it's in Baghdad. The original Dar al-Islam is in Baghdad. What's that? Persian bureaucracy. Okay. So you need to know the huge Persian bureaucrats. You need to know that their capital is in Baghdad. And you need to know that Caliph Harun al-Rashid is their golden age. Harun al-Rashid is their golden age. And under him, Baghdad is going to flourish. Now, when we think of Baghdad today, do we think of it as a flourishing city? No, we do not. Baghdad used to be the center of the Islamic world for thousands of years. It used to be a thriving capital. It doesn't go to complete destruction until about the 1970s. You can see photos of it in the 1950s and 60s, and it's like stunningly gorgeous. With these tons of gardens, these massive palaces, like it's a super gorgeous city. Today, not so much. It's been completely blown apart. Okay, you need to know that the Abbasid are going to decline because of Harun al-Rashid's sons are going to fight over power. Harun al-Rashid's sons are going to fight over power. You need to know that there are going to be you need to know that the Seljuk Turks are going to come in later and unify. So you need to know that the sons of Harun al-Rashid are going to fight. Then you're going to see that the Seljuk Turks are going to come in and take over and really unify everyone. Okay, so those are your two major Islamic dynasties, the two first big ones. Okay, skip space, centering, economy of Islam. Okay, so you need to know the Muslims are the ones facilitating trade. That is their big money maker. That's why they have all of this money. That's why they can spend on education, which is why no one else can. You need to know that because of worldwide trade and the Crusades, let's write this down, because of worldwide trade and the Crusades, Westerners want Eastern goods. Because of worldwide trade and the Crusades, Westerners want goods from the East. So, you need to know that cotton and paper are going to be two major additions. Okay, cotton and paper are going to be two major importing items. You need to know that they are going to be using camels in maritime trade to facilitate trade. So camels in maritime trade is how they carry these goods from the east to the Middle East, and then from the Middle East they'll go by Medicine. Okay. Another invention that they're going to do is that you need to know that the Muslims create banks. Muslims create banking systems. Why do you think the Muslims needed banking systems? Makes logical sense if you think about it. Emma. They had a lot of money from trade. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on a caravan going from China to the Middle East, you want to carry all that money on you? Now, that sounds like a terrible thing to do. So by putting it in a bank in China, China gives you a sack or a check. Okay, you need to know that term. Gives you a sack or a piece of paper that says you have this much money, and then you go to the sister bank in the Middle East when you get to the Middle East, and they give you all your cash. So that way you don't have to transport it across the entire continent. Isn't that nice? And that's because they were tired of getting raided all the time, so they created a banking system, which made it safer for caravans to trade, which allows more people to trade, which allows more goods to flourish, which allows for more money to be made. You need to know that they also create joint ventures. Joint venture is when two people go into business together to save money. Joint venture is also created by the Muslims, and it is when two people go into business to save money. Today we do investment. We do investment ventures. Okay, so if I have a really great idea for a new type of bakery for Tampa, and if you think my idea is going to make money, you give me money, and then however much you give me, I give you that in return. Right? That's how we typically do it today. Well, beforehand, we used to get two people who wanted to open a business together. It's called a joint venture. Okay. Skip a space, center it. Al-Andalus. If you are in AP Art History, you're going to study this in great detail. Al-Andalus is Islamic Spain. Remember, this Muslims are going to take it, the Moors are going to take it, and who keeps the Muslims only in Spain and blocks them from entering France? Who keeps them out of France? Joey? Charles Martel. So, the Muslims are not allowed to enter France, however, they are in Spain. You need to know that the Al-Andalus are friends with the Umayyads, okay? They were friendly with the Umayyads and refused to recognize the Abbasid. Why would they refuse to recognize the Abbasid? What shady thing did the Abbasid do? Come on, people. Reagan.
They killed all of the Muhammadans.
Yeah, at a banquet, man. Yeah, at a party, they locked the doors and slit their throats. So they refused to do it, so they created their own caliphate. So they rejected everyone, and they created their own caliphate. So they're on their own kind of program. Okay. So they were a part of the Umayyad, but once the Umayyad get killed by the Abbasid, they were like, okay, screw it, we're doing our own thing from here on out. And that's how they become independent. And that's why southern Spain looks totally different from anywhere else in the world. You can see a lot of Spanish heritage there and a lot of Islamic, and it looks like nowhere else in the world because they were on their own for like 600 years. Okay, women is your next heading. Okay, you need to know that the Quran is best for women. Quran helps women improve their station, ladies and gentlemen. And did I say anything like that about the Bible? No, because the Bible does not help women pretty much at all, ladies and gentlemen. The Quran does. It outlaws female infanticide. What's infanticide? Lily? Yeah, when you kill babies, mostly, basically for their gender. Okay? Brides claim dowries. What's a dowry? What's a dowry? Come on, there's modern dowries too. Shannon?
It's like the money that the would-be groom pays the bride or the bride's father to
Yeah.
marry someone.
Yeah, for instance, what is the modern dowry? Yeah, my husband bought me. For a pretty good price, I'd say. Pretty shiny ring. It's a little dirty at the moment, but when it's clean, it's very sparkly. That's a modern day dowry. So, ladies, you wait until someone proposes to you, right? Isn't that how the traditional, if we're going as like super traditional, your future husband will get down on one knee and propose with a ring. That ring is to convey to your family that he can afford you. And that's when your father will give him his blessing or not. And then the ownership of your father of you to your husband will occur. Yeah, so your husband just buys you. But at least it's pretty to look at, right? It sparkles. So, just kidding. I mean, kind of. Alright, you need to know that let's not kid ourselves. Islam still has a lot of patriarchy, though. Like, let's be honest. Okay, let's not think that Islam is going to be the great equalizer. It's not. Okay, men are still going to be the dominating force. Okay, you need to know that polygamy is permitted in some places, depending on the sect. Okay? We all know what polygamy is, right? Polygamy is what? Make sure everyone's on the same page. Lily? Yeah, when a man has multiple wives. What's polyandry? Come on, people. Maggie?
Is that when a woman has two husbands?
Multiple husbands. Yeah. need to know that there is a veil that's going to be adopted, and it is going to be used to help men stay in power. Now, the veil is going to be the predecessor to what modern day veil. The hijab is not a veil. It doesn't cover their face, but it does cover their hair. To the burqa. Have we seen a burqa? Is when a woman is completely covered and you can't see anything? Yes. They're usually they're very flowy. Hello? Okay, because some of you are like, yes, okay. Now, you do need to know that veils are in every single religion, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at traditional Middle Ages pictures of well, they're not pictures, they're paintings. Women have their hair completely pulled back and completely covered in kind of like a hijab kind of thing. Why? Why do Jews cover their head? We have no idea why Jews wear yarmulkes. Is it because they like the style? No, it's because it's a show it's to honor God by covering your head so you don't disrespect God. The idea of wearing a veil is in every single religion. What's the 17-year, she's now like 20 or something, who got shot by Al-Qaeda and what is her name? Malala. Malala wears a veil. She's Hindu. Why does she wear a veil? This is part of her religion. Okay, she does it in honor of God. Is she Islamic or is she Hindu? I think she's Islamic. There you go. Okay. Cultural components. You need to know that all of the laws of Islam were pretty unified. Pretty much every Islamic community followed the same laws. Okay? Very similar to Christianity. Most people just base it on the Bible. Same thing with Islam. You need to know that the Hajj is going to be the quintessential focus. And who can, William, what's a Hajj? Talked about it like 10,000 times, man. Yeah. What's a Hajj, Sophia? Yeah, it's a pilgrimage to where? To Mecca, where you go and walk where Muhammad walked. You do the things Muhammad did, things like that. So, are people going on Hajj today in 2019? Yes, it's the largest business second to oil for Saudi Arabia is Hajj. You do need to know of Sufi missionaries. Sufi missionaries are going to use mysticism. We used to use the word mysticism all the time. Evan, what is mysticism?
It's like using rituals and chants.
Yeah, like magic. Mysticism kind of looks like magic. Okay? Mysticism is like magic. So they're using magic to get in touch with Allah to kind of predict what He wants. Okay? Now, if you're a traditionalist, how do you feel about Sufi missionaries? Not great, and it's going to cause some tension. Okay? But you need to know people really like them and they're super popular. So Sufi missionaries are going to attract a lot of attention. Okay? Because people find them really entertaining. Have you ever seen like those big mega churches if you're a Christian? Okay, where they have like the full band on stage and they do like light shows and all this stuff. You know how they're super popular now? Why are they super popular? Because they're entertaining, correct? Instead of going to mass and seeing an old white guy up there like, and stand up there and like bore you to sleep, you can go and watch like, you know, a 20-something-year-old preacher up there jumping up and down and doing whatever they do. Okay. It's just purely for entertainment. So, not entertainment. There is a you know, a note of religion, but this idea of making it more entertaining is not a new idea. Come on. All right. Al-Ghazali. Okay, you need to know he's the most famous of the Sufi theologians. Okay, you need to know that he believes that the best way to speak to Allah is through a mystical ecstasy. So, it's kind of drug-induced, which is just kind of wild. Can you imagine? Like the Catholic Church was like, yeah, you know what? Take some LSD, go get closer to Jesus. Kind of where it comes down to a degree. Okay, what do you got, Reagan?
Did you say
Sufi. He believes in mysticism, so he's one of those people who uses like magic and stuff to get closer to God. Perfect. Alright, to the boards, let's do it. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the first Islamic empire? What is the name of the first Islamic empire? Good. Who is it, Shannon? Umayyad. On your whiteboard, please tell me, the Umayyad are super racist and they promoted who? Good. Who is it, Joey? Arabs. On your whiteboard, what is it called when you issue a tax for non-Muslims? Good. You're close. You're close. What is it, Jared? Jizya. 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 On your whiteboard, please tell me who is going to overthrow the Umayyad? Who overthrows the Umayyad? Good. I got 1, 2, 3. Good. What is the test? Abbasid. Abbasid are going to overthrow, and they celebrate what? Which makes them very attractive to the oppressed. They celebrate what, Emily? Diversity. What part of the former Umayyad dynasty will break off after the Abbasid take over? What former part of the Umayyad break off and create their own caliphate because they do not like the Abbasid? Daniel. Al-Andalus. Al-Andalus is located where? Good. Where, Sophie? Spain. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when you are a missionary that uses magic and mysticism in order to get closer to God? Good. What is it? Sterling. Sufis. On your whiteboard, who is the most famous of the Sufis? Good. Who is it, Maggie? Al-Ghazali or whatever. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of, where did the Abbasid get their government? What type of government structure did they have? Where did the Abbasid get their government? Evelyn. The Persians. Who is the greatest, who's the golden age of the Abbasid? Who is going to build up a cultural achievement? Good. I got 1, 2, 3. Good. Who is it, Emma? Harun al-Rashid. On your whiteboard, what is it called when it is the academic center of the world? This is where all of the advancements are coming from. Remember, Western Europe is playing with sticks. Like, they're like a mess. What is it, Slav? Dar al-Islam. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the capital of the Umayyad? Umayyad. Nope. Umayyad. Sam. Damascus. What is the name of the capital of the Abbasid? Good. What is it, William? Baghdad. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is, please tell me, how are the Muslims making their money? What is their major industry? Good. Jared. Trade. On your whiteboard. Oh, man. Sorry. I slipped over my desk and stuff. Thank you. So have you not noticed I always have fresh cut flowers? So I do. And they're sitting in my shower because my cat eats them. And then she pukes it out. And then dyes my carpet. So it's a real vicious cycle here. So they live in my shower. Alright, here we go. So I have a couple photos for you I want to show you. Okay, so this is the kebab. This is during Hajj. You will notice that every single person is wearing white from top to bottom. It is done as a unifying factor. It is the largest human gathering of organized in the world is Hajj, and it happens every single year for 2 weeks. It is absolutely insane, the scale of it. It is absolutely beautiful with how peaceful it really is. As a non-Muslim, if you're not a Muslim, you cannot go just to even watch. You're not allowed in Saudi Arabia during Hajj because they just have so many people and they don't want a bunch of people standing there looking. Jared.
Over the weekend, I saw someone actually praying.
Oh, you did? Yeah. So, this is inside of a mosque. A mosque is the name of the holy house of Islam. Inside of a mosque, it's pretty much wide open. You know how if you walk into a church or a synagogue, you just have rows? Kind of. It's completely open inside of a mosque, and it's covered with rugs traditionally. There's a couple of major functions. There's usually a fountain because it's a symbol of purity and welcomingness. Think about it. The religion started in the desert. Water screams, welcome, come, right? So, mosques are typically wide open. Men pray together. Women pray together. It's because of the prostration. The prostration is the bowing. As you can see, this prostration is a complete submission to Allah. They completely put their forehead to the floor in honor of Allah. I think we can agree having men and women in the same room doing this may get some looks and maybe distract you from practicing and really focusing on Allah. So they separate men and women. The children go with the women, and that's one of the reasons why. Islam is found in every single country in the world. India happens to have one of the largest populations. In India, you have both Hinduism and Islam. Look how cute. Okay, so this is the White Mosque. That's the Kaaba. These are people. Yeah, that's during Hajj. So that's the White Mosque. It's the largest mosque in the world. It is 4 stories. It's 4 stories tall. As you can see, there's tons of people outside the mosque waiting to get in, and that's the Kaaba. What do you got, Reagan?
Sorry. Is the Kaaba never leave the mosque?
Kaaba's like a built-in structure. Yeah, it's like a permanent structure. Yeah, it wouldn't leave. Where would you go with it?
I don't know, I didn't know.
You just throw it on the back of a truck and be like, yeah, the holiest relic, here we go, on the road again. You know, no. What you got, kid?
How do they keep non-Muslim people out of all the Islamic people? So, like, they're not allowed to have.
You have to have passports and stuff to go to Saudi Arabia in the first place, and you have to verify that you are a Muslim by having a Ingram, which is the leader of a mosque, has to verify that you are actually a devout Muslim. So you have to get permits and stuff to go to Hajj. Every person in the whole world has to get permits to go to Hajj. Like, you can't just show up randomly. Like, there's too many people, and they're obviously trying. Terrorism hurts Muslim countries more than it hurts any other countries. Can we agree? So they're trying to keep themselves safe as well. This is not during Hajj, which is why you have people in all different outfits, and hopefully you can see how beautiful and how peaceful. So this is obviously the Kaaba. You're supposed to walk around the Kaaba 7 times. And so the whole reason is when you get into the Kaaba, typically you start, especially during Hajj, you just typically go straight up to the top floors, and you kind of work your way around, and so until you can walk directly near the Kaaba and do that 7 times. It takes like hours, it takes like 5 to 6 hours in order to go in to see it. And here's another view of the White Mosque. It's huge. It's the largest structure in the world. And it's like 4 stories tall. It's beautiful though, can you agree? Okay. Here's another view. As you can see, these are people who are just waiting to get in. Sitting outside, just waiting. It's a beautiful night, so it's not bad. Here's what it looks like during the day. Okay, not during Hajj, obviously. This is where Rihanna got in trouble. I was going to put that picture in here just because it would be like a cultural touchstone, but I mean, it's disrespectful for the place. Because what she does is she leans against one of these poles. These poles are all over the place, and it's really geocentric and really beautiful in how they have it. And while she's leaning against it seductively, because it's Rihanna, you would too, she pulls off her headpiece, her head covering, and is lying up against a religious site seductively. So she's banned. I mean, I think we all saw that coming. So, alright. So, Darul Islam, you don't need to write this down, we already know. It's going to start in Baghdad, and what it does is it's going to just be pushing education as far as it possibly be. The smartest people in the world, are they in the West? No. They're in Islam. They're the ones. In Islam, you can transport ice across an entire continent, and it won't melt. What's happening in Western Europe at the time? Sticks. Yeah, they're literally playing with sticks. They're dirty and disgusting and probably peeing on themselves. Okay? It's Islam in the Middle East that the one is booming. They have fountains. They have all of these incredible art displays. They have all of this money. They have everything going for them. Okay, it's not until we get until about the 1400s do we start seeing the Europeans starting to rise. What do you got?
When was the White Mosque built?
I don't know. Google it, girl. I have no idea. Probably a long time. It's been updated. It gets updated all the time, obviously, because it's a huge security risk. But pretty cool, right? Any questions, concerns, comments? Shall we just review for your test tomorrow? Perfect. Let's do it. On your whiteboard. Let's do it. On your whiteboard, please tell me according to the 5 pillars of Islam, what is the fancy word for charity? Good. What is it, Evan? Almsgiving. According to the 5 pillars, you pray 5 times a day, facing where? Good. Alexa. Mecca. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the second holiest city? When Muhammad was kicked out of Mecca, he fled to this city and created his ummah. What is the second holiest city? What is it? What do you got, Lauren? Medina. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called? Please tell me, what are my 2 sects of Islam called? What are my 2 sects of Islam called? Good. Good. Where are they, Katie? Sunni and Shiites. On your whiteboard, Sunnis believe what? Good, Jared. The most qualified. Shiites believe what? Good. What is it? Cade. Direct descendant. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what year did Allah speak to Muhammad first? Good. What year, Emma? 610. On your whiteboard, what year did Muhammad die? Good. Slav.
632.
On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is... On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the first Caliph of Islam? Good. Who is it? Ashlyn. Abu Bakr. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is... please tell me, what is... What is the name of the angel that comes and speaks to Muhammad on behalf of Allah to start? Good. Who is it? Lily. Gabriel. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is Muhammad's life story called? Good. What is it? Evan. The Hadith. Good. All right, perfect. I'm good. You're good. So tomorrow you do have a test, 25 questions, multiple choice. Make sure you understand the foundations of Islam and the impact it has on the Abbasid and Umayyad. There you go.